menghadapi situasi ini dalam keadaan yang tertekan. Asalnya kita menghadapi ia dengan tenang. Namun demikian makin terasa tekanannya. Jadi saya mengharapkan pengurusan, pentadbiran, pelajar, staf dapat menghadapi situasi ini dengan lebih berhati-hati, menjaga diri, pada masa yang sama tidak lupa akan tanggungjawab kita sebagai pelajar dan juga staf. Saya ambil maklum tentang cara pembelajaran yang berubah sekarang ini. Tidak lagi ada kelas, tidak ada lagi kuliah yang di mana kita perlu bertemu dengan pensyarah. Bagi staf juga kita ambil maklum bahawa tidak ada lagi situasi di mana kita bertemu secara face to face. Kita perlu memastikan bahawa minda kita juga teranjak. Bukan sahaja platformnya kita ancak, minda dan juga emosi kita perlu diancak. Ada banyak faktor yang boleh menjurus kepada tekanan ini. Jadi saya harap pelajar dan staf juga pentadbiran dan pengurusan dapat menangani dan mengawal diri dalam konteks menghadapi tekanan ini. Kita pasti tugasan-tugasan yang diberikan oleh pensyarah mengikut apa yang telah disediakan ataupun dirancang dalam kurikulum yang telah kita bangunkan sebelum ini. Namun demikian, pihak MQA dan pihak kementerian juga telah memberi izin kepada semua universiti awam dan IPTS untuk memberi sedikit kelonggaran. Walau bagaimanapun, kualiti masih mesti dijamin. Oleh itu, UiTM ada membuat beberapa perubahan. Kali ini semester yang ketiga di mana kita menghadapi perkara ini, kita mohon pelajar diberikan sedikit kelonggaran untuk tidak perlu menghantar assignment ataupun penilaian tugasan dalam tempoh yang kita panggil tempoh study week. Jadi untuk semester ini kita mohon semua pelajar dan juga pensyarah akur dengan perkeliling yang baru saja kami keluarkan. Kita nak memberi ruang kepada pelajar dan juga pensyarah untuk bersedia menghadapi penilaian akhir yang akan bermula pada 22 Julai nanti. Dan penilaian akhir tahun ini akan bermula 22 Julai itu sehinggalah kepada 12 Ogos. Jadi tempohnya lama, 3 minggu. Saya harap kita sama-sama dan ibu bapa juga saya harap sama-sama memainkan peranan. Bukanlah kita akan adakan peperiksaan itu 3 peperiksaan dalam satu hari. Penjadualan peperiksaan juga kami telah laksanakan dengan tanggungjawab yang tinggi. Kita ada bahagian penilaian dan pentaksiran yang melakukan penjadualan peperiksaan ini supaya semua kebajikan pelajar dan pensyarah diambil kira kepada semua pelajar. Saya berharap jika ada yang merasa tertekan dalam keadaan tempoh menghadapi penilaian akhir ini, saya harap jika semua pelajar ataupun ada sebahagian pelajar yang rasa macam sangat terbeban, janganlah menanggung perkara ini sendirian. Saya berharap ada sokongan yang akan diberi. Jangan risau, UiTM menyediakan perkhidmatan kaunseling secara online sekarang ni dalam keadaan ini So kita sediakan kaunseling secara online. Sila lawati laman sesawang yang telah pihak kaunselor bangunkan. Jadi kita berharap pelajar-pelajar yang terkesan melawat laman sesawang tersebut, silalah mendapat khidmat nasihat daripada mereka. Begitu juga dengan pensyarah. Saya berharap kalau ada pensyarah yang merasa tertekan, saya nak nyatakan di sini, saya juga mendapat makluman ada pensyarah kita yang tertekan. Sebab kita pasti pensyarah kita ada yang senior, ada yang berumur matang, tetapi ada juga pensyarah kita yang muda, yang ada bersama mereka anak-anak kecil, yang mereka juga terpaksa menguruskan keluarga di samping perlu memastikan pengajaran, pembelajaran dilaksanakan. Tambahan lagi ketika ini mereka perlu menghadapi proses pemarkahan. Jadi mereka perlu menyiapkan penilaian pelajar-pelajar tadi. Jadi kita berikan tempoh tersebut untuk pensyarah menyiapkan pemarkahan itu sehinggalah sebelum Ogos 18. Pada masa yang sama, sebab proses penilaian kita ini tadbir urusnya sudah mantap. Jadi kita perlu siapkan dalam satu tempoh agar ia akan disemak supaya kita tidak memberi pemarkahan yang tidak tepat. Contohnya, jika pelajar itu pandai, memang selayaknya dia mendapat markah yang tinggi. Jika dia berusaha dengan baik, seharusnya dia juga mendapat markah yang tinggi. Begitu juga sebaliknya. Insya-Allah saya harap pelajar dan staf sama-sama mengharungi situasi ini. Begitu juga kami, dekan-dekan dan juga pengurusan tertinggi UiTM juga akan turut serta dalam memastikan pembelajaran, penilaian pelajar akan dapat dihasilkan dengan baik. So, nasihat saya kepada pelajar, patuhilah SOP, patuhilah apa yang ditetapkan oleh kerajaan MKN supaya kita sama-sama menghadapi situasi ini dengan baik. Dan jangan lupa, jika kita ada ruang kepada yang belum mendapat vaksin, sila uruskan untuk mendapat vaksin ini melalui MySejahtera. Begitu juga untuk staf. Pada masa yang sama, saya harap semua kita, termasuk diri saya, kita sama-sama jaga orang-orang yang di bawah tanggungjawab kita. Kita pastikan makanan yang sihat, mengambil air, minuman yang banyak, dan jangan lupa kita berdoa juga kepada Allah supaya kita dilindungi dan mendapat rahmat Allah. Sekian, terima kasih. Pandemik COVID-19 telah melanda satu dunia. Kita menghadapinya dalam keadaan kadang-kadang rasa macam terpaksa. Namun demikian, saya sedar pelajar dan staf sama-sama menghadapi situasi ini dalam keadaan yang tertekan. Asalnya kita menghadapi ia dengan tenang. Namun demikian, makin terasa tekanannya. Jadi saya mengharapkan pengurusan, pentadbiran, pelajar, staf dapat menghadapi situasi ini dengan lebih berhati-hati, menjaga diri, pada masa yang sama tidak lupa akan tanggungjawab kita sebagai pelajar dan juga staf. Saya ambil maklum tentang cara pembelajaran yang berubah sekarang ini. Tidak lagi ada kelas, tidak ada lagi kuliah yang di mana kita perlu bertemu dengan pensyarah. Bagi staf juga, kita ambil maklum bahawa tidak ada lagi situasi di mana kita bertemu secara face to face. Kita perlu memastikan bahawa minda kita juga teranjak. Bukan sahaja platformnya kita anjak, minda dan juga emosi kita perlu dianjak. Ada banyak faktor yang boleh menjurus kepada tekanan ini. Jadi saya harap pelajar dan staf juga pentadbiran dan pengurusan dapat menangani dan mengawal diri dalam konteks menghadapi tekanan ini. Kita pasti tugasan-tugasan yang diberikan oleh pensyarah mengikut apa yang telah disediakan ataupun dirancang dalam kurikulum yang telah kita bangunkan sebelum ini. Namun demikian, pihak MQA dan pihak kementerian juga telah memberi izin kepada semua universiti awam dan IPTS untuk memberi sedikit kelonggaran. Walau bagaimanapun, kualiti masih mesti dijamin. Oleh itu, UiTM ada membuat beberapa perubahan. Kali ini semester yang ketiga di mana kita menghadapi perkara ini, kita mohon pelajar diberikan sedikit kelonggaran untuk tidak perlu menghantar assignment ataupun penilaian, tugasan dalam tempoh yang kita panggil tempoh study week. Jadi untuk semester ini, kita mohon semua pelajar dan juga pensyarah akur dengan perkeliling yang baru saja kami keluarkan. Kita nak memberi ruang kepada pelajar dan juga pensyarah untuk bersedia menghadapi penilaian akhir yang akan bermula pada 22 Julai nanti. Dan penilaian akhir tahun ini akan bermula 22 Julai itu sehinggalah kepada 12 Ogos. Jadi tempohnya lama, 3 minggu. Saya harap kita sama-sama, dan ibu bapa juga saya harap sama-sama memainkan peranan. Bukanlah kita akan adakan peperiksaan itu 3 peperiksaan dalam satu hari. Penjadualan peperiksaan juga kami telah laksanakan dengan tanggungjawab yang tinggi. Kita ada bahagian penilaian dan pentaksiran yang melakukan penjadualan peperiksaan ini supaya semua kebajikan pelajar dan pensyarah diambil kira. Kepada semua pelajar, saya berharap jika ada yang merasa tertekan dalam keadaan tempoh menghadapi penilaian akhir ini, saya harap jika semua pelajar ataupun ada sebahagian pelajar yang rasa macam sangat terbeban, janganlah menanggung perkara ini sendirian. Saya berharap ada sokongan yang akan diberi. Jangan risau, UiTM menyediakan perkhidmatan kaunseling secara online sekarang ni dalam keadaan ini ya. So kita sediakan kaunseling secara online. Sila lawati laman sesawang yang telah pihak kaunselor bangunkan. Jadi kita berharap pelajar-pelajar yang terkesan melawat laman sesawang tersebut, silalah mendapat khidmat nasihat daripada mereka. Begitu juga dengan pensyarah. Saya berharap kalau ada pensyarah yang merasa tertekan, saya nak nyatakan di sini, saya juga mendapat makluman ada pensyarah kita yang tertekan. Sebab kita pasti pensyarah kita ada yang senior, ada yang berumur matang, tetapi ada juga pensyarah kita yang muda, yang ada bersama mereka anak-anak kecil, yang mereka juga terpaksa menguruskan keluarga di samping perlu memastikan pengajaran pembelajaran dilaksanakan. Tambahan lagi ketika ini mereka perlu menghadapi proses pemarkahan. Jadi mereka perlu menyiapkan penilaian pelajar-pelajar tadi. Jadi kita berikan tempoh tersebut untuk pensyarah menyiapkan pemarkahan itu sehinggalah sebelum Ogos 18. Pada masa yang sama, sebab proses penilaian kita ini tadbir urusnya sudah mantap. Jadi kita perlu siapkan dalam satu tempoh agar ia akan disemak supaya kita tidak memberi pemarkahan yang tidak tepat. Contohnya jika pelajar itu pandai, memang selayaknya dia mendapat markah yang tinggi. Jika dia berusaha dengan baik, seharusnya dia juga mendapat markah yang tinggi. Begitu juga sebaliknya. Insya-Allah saya harap pelajar dan staf sama-sama mengharungi situasi ini. Begitu juga kami, dekan-dekan dan juga pengurusan tertinggi UiTM juga akan turut serta dalam memastikan pembelajaran, penilaian pelajar akan dapat dihasilkan dengan baik. So, nasihat saya kepada pelajar, patuhilah SOP, patuhilah apa yang ditetapkan oleh kerajaan, MKN, supaya kita sama-sama menghadapi situasi ini dengan baik. Dan jangan lupa jika kita ada ruang kepada yang belum mendapat vaksin, sila uruskan untuk mendapat vaksin ini melalui MySejahtera. Begitu juga untuk staf. Pada masa yang sama, saya harap semua kita, termasuk diri saya, kita sama-sama jaga orang-orang yang di bawah tanggungjawab kita. Kita pastikan makanan yang sihat, mengambil air, minuman yang banyak. Dan jangan lupa kita berdoa juga kepada Allah supaya kita dilindungi dan mendapat rahmat Allah. Sekian, terima kasih. Pandemik COVID-19 telah melanda satu dunia. Kita menghadapinya dalam keadaan kadang-kadang rasa macam terpaksa. Namun demikian, saya sedar pelajar dan staf sama-sama menghadapi situasi ini dalam keadaan yang tertekan. Asalnya kita menghadapi ia dengan tenang. Namun demikian, makin terasa tekanannya. Jadi saya mengharapkan pengurusan, pentadbiran, pelajar, staf dapat menghadapi situasi ini dengan lebih berhati-hati, menjaga diri, pada masa yang sama tidak lupa akan tanggungjawab kita sebagai pelajar dan juga staf. Saya ambil maklum tentang cara pembelajaran yang berubah sekarang ini. Tidak lagi ada kelas, tidak ada lagi kuliah yang di mana kita perlu bertemu dengan pensyarah. Bagi staf juga kita ambil maklum bahawa tidak ada lagi situasi di mana kita bertemu secara face to face. Kita perlu memastikan bahawa minda kita juga teranjak. Bukan sahaja platformnya kita ancak, minda dan juga emosi kita perlu dianjak. Ada banyak faktor yang boleh menjurus kepada tekanan ini. Jadi saya harap pelajar dan staf juga pentadbiran dan pengurusan dapat menangani dan mengawal diri dalam konteks menghadapi tekanan ini. Kita pasti tugasan-tugasan yang diberikan oleh pensyarah mengikut apa yang telah disediakan ataupun dirancang dalam kurikulum yang telah kita bangunkan sebelum ini. Namun demikian, pihak MQA dan pihak kementerian juga telah memberi izin kepada semua universiti awam dan IPTS untuk memberi sedikit kelonggaran. Walau bagaimanapun, kualiti masih mesti dijamin. Oleh itu, UiTM ada membuat beberapa perubahan. Kali ini semester yang ketiga di mana kita menghadapi perkara ini, kita mohon pelajar diberikan sedikit kelonggaran untuk tidak perlu menghantar assignment ataupun penilaian tugasan dalam tempoh yang kita panggil tempoh study week. Jadi untuk semester ini kita mohon semua pelajar dan juga pensyarah akur dengan perkeliling yang baru saja kami keluarkan. Kita nak memberi ruang kepada pelajar dan juga pensyarah untuk bersedia menghadapi penilaian akhir yang akan bermula pada 22 Julai nanti. Dan penilaian akhir tahun ini akan bermula 22 Julai itu sehinggalah kepada 12 Ogos. Jadi tempohnya lama, 3 minggu. Saya harap kita sama-sama dan ibu bapa juga saya harap sama-sama memainkan peranan. Bukanlah kita akan adakan peperiksaan itu 3 peperiksaan dalam satu hari. Penjadualan peperiksaan juga kami telah laksanakan dengan tanggungjawab yang tinggi. Kita ada bahagian penilaian dan pentaksiran yang melakukan penjadualan peperiksaan ini supaya semua kebajikan pelajar dan pensyarah diambil kira. Kepada semua pelajar, saya berharap jika ada yang merasa tertekan dalam keadaan tempoh menghadapi penilaian akhir ini, saya harap jika semua pelajar ataupun ada sebahagian pelajar yang rasa macam sangat terbeban, janganlah menanggung perkara ini sendirian. Saya berharap ada sokongan yang akan diberi. Jangan risau, UiTM menyediakan perkhidmatan kaunseling secara online sekarang ni dalam keadaan ini So kita sediakan kaunseling secara online. Sila lawati laman sesawang yang telah pihak kaunselor bangunkan. Jadi kita berharap pelajar-pelajar yang terkesan melawat laman sesawang tersebut, silalah mendapat khidmat nasihat daripada mereka. Begitu juga dengan pensyarah. Saya berharap kalau ada pensyarah yang merasa tertekan, saya nak nyatakan di sini, saya juga mendapat makluman ada pensyarah kita yang tertekan. Sebab kita pasti pensyarah kita ada yang senior, ada yang berumur matang, tetapi ada juga pensyarah kita yang muda, yang ada bersama mereka anak-anak kecil, yang mereka juga terpaksa menguruskan keluarga di samping perlu memastikan pengajaran, pembelajaran dilaksanakan. Tambahan lagi ketika ini mereka perlu menghadapi proses pemarkahan. Jadi mereka perlu menyiapkan penilaian pelajar-pelajar tadi. Jadi kita berikan tempoh tersebut untuk pensyarah menyiapkan pemarkahan itu sehinggalah sebelum Ogos 18. Pada masa yang sama, sebab proses penilaian kita ini tadbir urusnya sudah mantap. Jadi kita perlu siapkan dalam satu tempoh agar ia akan disemak supaya kita tidak memberi pemarkahan yang tidak tepat. Contohnya jika pelajar itu pandai, memang selayaknya dia mendapat markah yang tinggi. Jika dia berusaha dengan baik, seharusnya dia juga mendapat markah yang tinggi. Begitu juga sebaliknya. Insya-Allah saya harap pelajar dan staf sama-sama mengharungi situasi ini. Begitu juga kami, dekan-dekan dan juga pengurusan tertinggi UiTM juga akan turut serta dalam memastikan pembelajaran, penilaian pelajar akan dapat dihasilkan dengan baik. So, nasihat saya kepada pelajar, patuhilah SOP, patuhilah apa yang ditetapkan oleh kerajaan MKN supaya kita sama-sama menghadapi situasi ini dengan baik. Dan jangan lupa, jika kita ada ruang kepada yang belum mendapat vaksin, sila uruskan untuk mendapat vaksin ini melalui MySejahtera. Begitu juga untuk staf. Pada masa yang sama, saya harap semua kita, termasuk diri saya, kita sama-sama jaga orang-orang yang di bawah tanggungjawab kita. Kita pastikan makanan yang sihat, mengambil air, minuman yang banyak, dan jangan lupa kita berdoa juga pada Allah supaya kita dilindungi dan mendapat rahmat Allah. Sekian, terima kasih. Pandemik COVID-19 telah melanda satu dunia. Kita menghadapinya dalam keadaan kadang-kadang rasa macam terpaksa. Namun demikian, saya sedar pelajar dan staf sama-sama menghadapi situasi ini dalam keadaan yang tertekan. Asalnya kita menghadapi ia dengan tenang. Namun demikian, makin terasa tekanannya. Jadi saya mengharapkan pengurusan, pentadbiran, pelajar, staf dapat menghadapi situasi ini dengan lebih berhati-hati, menjaga diri, pada masa yang sama tidak lupa akan tanggungjawab kita sebagai pelajar dan juga staf. Saya ambil maklum tentang cara pembelajaran yang berubah sekarang ini. Tidak lagi ada kelas, tidak ada lagi kuliah yang di mana kita perlu bertemu dengan pensyarah. Bagi staf juga, kita ambil maklum bahawa tidak ada lagi situasi di mana kita bertemu secara face to face. Kita perlu memastikan bahawa minda kita juga teranjak. Bukan sahaja platformnya kita anjak, minda dan juga emosi kita perlu dianjak. Ada banyak faktor yang boleh menjurus kepada tekanan ini. Jadi saya harap pelajar dan staf juga pentadbiran dan pengurusan dapat menangani dan mengawal diri dalam konteks menghadapi tekanan ini. Kita pasti tugasan-tugasan yang diberikan oleh pensyarah mengikut apa yang telah disediakan ataupun dirancang dalam kurikulum yang telah kita bangunkan sebelum ini. Namun demikian, pihak MQA dan pihak kementerian juga telah memberi izin kepada semua universiti awam dan IPTS untuk memberi sedikit kelonggaran. Walau bagaimanapun, kualiti masih mesti dijamin. Oleh itu, UiTM ada membuat beberapa perubahan. Kali ini semester yang ketiga di mana kita menghadapi perkara ini, kita mohon pelajar diberikan sedikit kelonggaran untuk tidak perlu menghantar assignment ataupun penilaian, tugasan dalam tempoh yang kita panggil tempoh study week. Jadi untuk semester ini kita mohon semua pelajar dan juga pensyarah akur dengan perkeliling yang baru saja kami keluarkan. Kita nak memberi ruang kepada pelajar dan juga pensyarah untuk bersedia menghadapi penilaian akhir yang akan bermula pada 22 Julai nanti. Dan penilaian akhir tahun ini akan bermula 22 Julai itu sehinggalah kepada 12 Ogos. Jadi tempohnya lama, 3 minggu. Saya harap kita sama-sama dan ibu bapa juga saya harap sama-sama memainkan peranan. Bukanlah kita akan adakan peperiksaan itu 3 peperiksaan dalam satu hari. Penjadualan peperiksaan juga kami telah laksanakan dengan tanggungjawab yang tinggi. Kita ada bahagian penilaian dan pentaksiran yang melakukan penjadualan peperiksaan ini supaya semua kebajikan pelajar dan pensyarah diambil kira kepada semua pelajar. Saya berharap jika ada yang merasa tertekan dalam keadaan tempoh menghadapi penilaian akhir ini.
Hello, hi.
Semua pelajar ataupun ada sebahagian pelajar.
Hello, Dr. Tahila.
Yes, I'm here. Nazra, take over.
Okay, hi.
Hi.
Okay.
Hi. Hi, Dr. Tava.
Hi, sorry
Okay.
guys, I'm very sorry for being late.
Okay. Let me start. Okay.
Okay,
Assalamualaikum and
sure.
good day to all. First of all, we would like to say sorry for the delay due to some technical errors. We have to start a little bit late. Thank you for your patience and consideration. Okay, my name is Nazrah binti Sa'dan, and I'm going to be the moderator for today's webinar. Before we start our webinar, I would like to invite Ustaz Rizam to recite the dua.
الفاتحة. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أصبحنا على فطرة الإسلام وكلمة الإخلاص وعلى ديننا النبي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى ملة أبينا إبراهيم حنيفا مسلما وما كان من المشركين. رضينا بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبمحمد نبيا ورسولا. اللهم إنا نسألك رضاك والجنة ونعوذ بك من سخطك والنار. اللهم إنك عفو كريم تحب العفو فاعف عنا. اللهم إنا نسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين. تقبل الله منكم.
Amin amin ya rabbal alamin. Thank you, Ustaz. Welcome to today's webinar entitled Write Like a King, Mix of Methods to Graduate Before Time. And this event is brought to you by MITASA and Center of Postgraduate Studies of UiTM Johor Campus, Pasir Gudang. At this point, I want to introduce our featured speaker before we get into our content. And our guest for today is Dr. Tava Marankanison. Let me share with you a little bit about the speaker. For your information, Dr. Tava Marankanison, or known as Dr. Tava, is well known among postgraduate students as he has helped a lot of students with their write-up of proposals and even theses. He is currently an adjunct lecturer for Faculty of Science and Information Technology, and during his PhD, he managed to complete it within 3 years. He has an exciting publication record and awards with more than 60 publications within 5 years. Mostly were published in Quarter 1 journals and low acceptance rate conferences. He is also the founder and chief editor of Proofreading by a UK PhD, which currently serves as the official editorial for many universities, governmental and private organizations around the world. And today he is here with us to share his knowledge, ideas, experience, and tips in writing effectively and efficiently. By the end of this webinar, it is hoped that all of the participants, especially the postgraduate students and those who are interested to further studies, are exposed on what are the systematic steps that can be taken in order to graduate on time. With that, I invite Dr. Tava to share his knowledge with us. Please welcome.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Nazra. Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate that. This is the first time I'm doing WebEx and then live broadcast on YouTube. This is very innovative. Thank you for that. So I'm watching the YouTube channel as well. I'm very sorry to everyone, all the organizers and 36 participants as well. I had a very big problem with my internet, so I had to get that resolved in very short time. So here I am to join all of you. So let me share my screen now. Okay. So let me just wait. I'm watching YouTube as well. There's a slight delay there. So I'm watching and I'm trying to see how the screen looks like on YouTube, if everything is okay. Okay, I think that is all okay there. I can see everything is clear on the screen. So we have 39 members there. So if you have any comments, I think you have to type it out on YouTube, if I'm not mistaken. You have to chat publicly on YouTube as well. So if you have any questions at all, please feel free to ask. Let me see if the chat here is connected. Okay, so I think the chat here is not connected. So I think your responses still comes under YouTube. Okay. So any comments, any feedback, I think you guys have to type it in YouTube itself. Okay, on YouTube itself, not here. Webex chat is not synchronized with this YouTube. Good morning, Miss Siti. Okay, so to all of you, you can respond on YouTube, okay, for whatever questions I'm asking, and I'll respond to you via voice. That'll be easier, okay? All right. So again, very sorry to keep you waiting. So today, as how Ms. Nadza had described earlier, it's a mix of methods on how to graduate before time. So okay, in my conventional title, I usually call it Journey to Graduate Before Time. Yeah, okay. UiTM had a very different way of putting the title this time. Very good, very well enough. I just supposed to have another talk 2 days ago with UiTM Perlis, but I had to cancel it because I'm not well. I'm slowly recovering now. So let's get started. Okay, so before I start, very good morning. So let's see, we have 44 participants. Before I talk about myself, I would like to know the current audience today. So we have Miss Siti, good morning to you. And we have 44 other participants. Okay, very good morning to all of you. So all of you guys, are you guys doing masters or PhD? Are you guys attached to UiTM Johor itself, or you're doing PhD elsewhere? So chat up in the comment box. I suppose to ask this question later, but we're running short on time, so I'm going to ask it now itself. So what is your current stage? Are you at the proposal stage, PhD? I mean, thesis stage already, or right at the beginning stage of your PhD? And then you guys are doing masters or PhD. So please respond via YouTube commenting. Okay, so my request was how many of you are doing PhD? How many of you are doing masters? If you could kindly comment on YouTube, okay, the channel that you're watching right now, in the comment column, basically a proposal stage, or maybe at the beginning stage of your PhD, or at the ending stage of your PhD, just to get to know the crowd today. Yeah, probably Dr. Taira, you're right. Maybe there's a bit of delay. So let me try to compensate for the delay. Yeah. Okay, most of them are sambung PhD. Yeah. Okay. All right. So okay, let me just continue. So this is about me. So let me go through this very quickly. So I have a PhD. I completed mine about 2 years and 11 months. Now did my masters. Skip my masters. Right after my PhD, I completed mine in 2 years and 11 months, so I could talk about graduating before time. I know what it takes to get there. Thereafter, I joined Birmingham, AIPT, Aston Institute of Photonics at Birmingham, one of the most most well-known schools in the area of optical communications, photonics, physics, and so on. Joined there. I was there for about a year in Birmingham, and then I joined Telecom Malaysia R&D. I stayed there for about 5 years. Concurrently, I also started my company, Proofreading by UK PhD, where now currently I'm a full-time chief editor and founder. I'm also an adjunct lecturer at UTP, focusing mostly on improving their publication segment. I've in excess of 5 million USD of grants, 60 over ISI publications, 3 US patents, and about 8 global standards. I've also consulted Georgia Tech, IAB, and also 6 different awards and 4 dozens of invited talks. These are my profiles so far. Okay, this is Proofreading by UK PhD. Okay, this is the very reason I'm here, because today's talk is mostly, it's fully sponsored by CSR, our program as part of Proofreading by UK PhD. Not only UiTM, we have already done for UiTM Negeri Sembilan, UiTM, early supposed to do, but we had to cancel last minute. And this one is for UiTM Johor. We've also done it. I've also done it for UPM. UPM I'm doing for the 3rd round now, coming up end of this month. Because the previous 2 rounds were all full 300 students. They had no space to let others to join anymore, so they had to do another session. UKM I completed already, and then most of the northern universities are done. So only left are the East Coast universities, so I'm doing UMT very soon, and also Unimas probably very soon as well. Okay, so this is our presence so far in terms of footprint globally, where we are serving. We are in about 33 different countries. Okay, in total, we have completed more than 14,000 documents, proofreading, consulting, and whatnot. Of that, 7,500 are theses, 6,900 are articles, and about 550 plus grants and CVs. And these are the type of services that we provide, from consultancy, that is content related, to language related. Okay, more on this later. Okay, so these are some of our finest achievements so far in terms of publication. And some of the key notable publications are this. This is a paper by Dr. Adila in Renewable Sustainable Energy Reviews. The highest impact factor that we have achieved so far, 14.98. This is a top 5 journal in this area. Okay, this is so far the highest that we have achieved as a consulting firm. Followed by, this is a very recent paper that we achieved, impact factor 10.3. This is a very, very victorious achievement for us from UTP as well, part of Parvez PhD. Followed by, this is a very famous paper. I think you all know this guy, Dr. Herol, very, very good expert in the area of SLR. This is his first SLR paper that he wrote, and we worked with him as well. And thereafter, I think we have already hit about 8 papers together now. This is also a Q1 paper, impact factor of more than 7. Okay, these are some of the very most notable achievements throughout our journey. And this is my own paper. So many have asked me, okay, fine, you have sort of worked with your clients and, proofreading, paraphrasing, content editing, and so on and so forth. What is your own personal achievement? Well, I have more than 60 publications, and this is the most highest I have achieved myself, 11.39. Okay, this is a work that we jointly did with many universities. Okay, I was part of it. It was like consortium paper with UCL, Oxford, Coventry, Czech Republic, Edinburgh, and many different universities. Okay. All right, so these are some of the classes that I run on a weekly basis. Now the frequency is slightly lower because I'm doing a lot of free talks for university directly. So I'm a bit busy with that. So okay, so now on the YouTube, okay, so we have a response from Vida Surya. Hi Vida Surya, good morning. PhD stage, this is writing, okay, fantastic, thank you for responding. And then we have from UiTM Joe, we love to hear from the audience, so kindly leave your inquiry in the chat box. Yes, questions and comments are highly appreciated. You can see on your YouTube. If you're not sure where we're talking about, it's actually at the bottom there in the comment column, okay. So for those who have joined my class before, I think you know where to find it. But for those who have not joined my classes before, who are struggling, who needs a lot of resources, who wants to learn, this is all completely free. Okay, I'm doing this as part of my initiative to reach out as part of my CSR program. whether through universities or directly through Facebook. Okay, so if you go to our Facebook page, Proofreading by UK PhD, okay, so that's all you need to type. You need to go to search, type out Proofreading by UK PhD. As soon as you get there, click like and follow. Okay, it's not compulsory, but it's good if you can do that. And then just yesterday we had a very good talk, step-by-step review paper writing. Very quickly, we already hit more than 2,000 views. Okay, so this is yesterday's talk, and the previous talk was 2 weeks ago because I took about 2 weeks of break, and then I restarted again. All the upcoming talks. So here, basically, what you can find is you can find a lot of talks that is very, very essential for thesis writing. Okay, theoretical framework, conceptual framework, how to paraphrase for fast thesis journal, all about journal publication, conceptual framework design. Basically, I'm running free classes to help out all the students because sometimes they cannot get the answers they need. Sometimes they have to pay a lot for workshops. How many workshops can they pay for? So this is just free resources I'm sharing. How to design literature matrix, how to write significant study in chapter 1, how to go for proposal defense and viva. I think now four thesis viva in the past 2 to 3 months have gotten for minor correction after watching these videos. According to their feedback, this video gave them a very, very good idea of how they need to prepare. Because I've prepared in accordance to 25 important questions that they need to prepare, and they prepared that, and eventually, it was very easy for them. So there's over 80 videos here. I would definitely suggest you to go and have a look. Okay, how to graduate before time, how to write problem statement, how to write literature review, how to write a background, many different things. Okay, so let me also try to connect YouTube here. So this is because I need to share these links to UiTM Johor. Okay, so let me just go to UiTM Johor channel so I can share the comments there. Here you go. Okay. Okay. So I'm watching on YouTube as well. So I'm going to share the links to get here, basically. Oh, okay. Right. Unfortunately, I think the links don't work on YouTube channel.
You can share the link here, Dr. Tava, so we can paste it there.
Okay. All right. So let me just paste it here. Sorry, I'm very, very new to this, so struggling. Okay, so I've already shared here. These are the links. So probably you can send to the participants as well. So I'll be sending a first link to my Telegram group, second link to Facebook group, Facebook page, and the fourth link is to the entire playlist of all these videos, all this collection of videos. All right. Okay, so this is our huge community now. I think we're almost hitting 45,000 members already, followers, effective academic writing. This is a huge, basically a very, very massive amount of resources that I share on a daily basis also. Let me get to that. So it's effective academic writing. If you have not visited before, I would suggest you to go and join, almost 45,000 already. Join and be part of the community. So these are the things that I share on daily basis, how to gather data for thesis, how to literature matrix, some of the recent graduates, how to write literature review research paper, step-by-step approach. My class yesterday was based on this paper. A lot of resources, Dr. Hero's upcoming classes, he shares a lot of things as well. How to construct a mixed method research design. My next upcoming classes will be based on this particular topic. Okay, so not let me close down on that. Okay, so these are the links that I've shared. Hopefully, it will get to you via YouTube. Okay, so UiTM Joe, if they share, it's working actually. If I share, the link was not working. Thank you, UiTM. Okay, so now let's start the session today. Tips and tricks for quick writings, how to paraphrase strategically for a thesis, how to efficiently write every section with the funnel technique, how to get every chapter right, and avoid major correction. Okay. Okay, so this one I already asked. Let me skip this. Okay, so in total, time planning. Okay, my next class on Facebook Live will be more on this, more specifically. But just to give you an overall approach, this is the amount of time that is required for all of you to complete your PhD, except the timeline is not given here, the timeline is not given here, and the timeline is not given here as well. Okay, that means to get Viva preparation started. I mean Viva committee to assemble and so on. So that timing is not within your hands. The rest are more or less within your hands. So okay, how long does it take for you to complete your PhD? Well, I'm not going to go through these details. I'll probably go through later. But this is 11 different steps, okay, to get PhD. All right. I designed this diagram myself. Probably some of you would have joined my Facebook live classes would have seen this before. Okay. So this is how I do time planning and also resource planning and entire PhD planning for my consultees. Whenever they come to me with trouble, the first thing I'm going to show them is this diagram. I'm going to ask them, tell me exactly you're at which point. So I know what to do for you. Okay, this is my usual approach. All right, so usually you start from step one. If you are guys, if most of you, I heard from Dr. Tahira, most of you want to sambung PhD. Okay, so if the purpose is to sambung PhD, okay, then you must always start with this step. Okay, I'm pretty sure you guys are pretty awesome. Most of you are academicians already. So I don't think I need to elaborate further on this, given experience. But 10 pages will give you, it will give you a supervisor necessary idea of how your research is going to be, what your research is going to be, what you're going to do, and so on and so forth. Okay. So that is what this is about. Once this is agreed, then only you go to the next step, and then go for journal production, and next step, then you go for proposal defense. This is on your own entirely, and then and the timing also not sure. How long will it take to organize? Depends on university and supervisor and so on. Then you complete your defense correction, and your proposal is all done. Okay. So let me rub that off so that it doesn't look too messy. Once you go to thesis stage, actually, to be honest to you, let me be very, very honest. I don't know how many of you told you this. The thesis stage, okay, that means this side of the paradigm, okay, is actually much easier. Okay. The tough part is actually this. This is the tough part. Okay, this is really, really tough because here is where you develop your entire idea. Data collection is easy. Okay, even if you have the money, you can get people to go and collect data for you. You don't need to worry about it. There are many people out there willing to work for it. All right, you can pay them on monthly basis, weekly basis, or task basis. There are many freelancers out there. Analysis, analysis. You can legally hire an analyst to do analysis for you. Okay, and or you can learn and do it yourself. It's up to you. Okay. So if you go to Prof. Ramaya's class on smart PLS and so on, it's very, very good to get you started. But after that, everything requires practice. Okay. I've heard some people going for PLS classes and then they say within one class, I cannot understand everything. It doesn't work that way. People take a decade to be an expert. Okay, you cannot go in one class and expect to be an expert. It doesn't work that way. It takes a lot of practice. All right. Then here comes the writing part, the analysis and the conclusion part. Then comes the chapter 1 to 5 alignment because you have to align all your results back to your proposal. Okay. And finally, these are all the journal production stages where you can write journals. Proofreading, very, very essential, very, very essential. And then preparation for Viva. Okay, so this is the stages that is required that is been very, very successful for thousands of my consultees. Most of them are graduate before time, graduate after time, graduate on time. Okay, actually mostly graduate after time because they come to me a bit too late. Okay, at the end or at the juncture where they know they cannot survive anymore, then they will come to me. And thankfully, none of them actually failed. Okay, most of them have, all of them actually have graduated. Okay, so the time required, okay, time required for you to look at every step. Okay, that is the answer that you want, right? Okay, very simple. The first step, 1 month. 3 months, second step. Third step, about 1 month. Journal requires you to have about 6 months. Defense, about 2 weeks, preparing for defense. correcting a proposal defense. After your proposal defense, I mean the correction, about 1 month. Analysis, writing chapter 4 and 5, it's about 3 months. Aligning chapter 1 all the way to 5, about 1 month. Another 2 more journals, 6 months. Another stage of proofreading, final proofreading, okay, for thesis, 1.5 months. Again, preparing for Viva 2 weeks. Okay, so that gives us, if you sum it up, it's about 25 weeks. Oops, sorry. 25 weeks. I'm sorry, months. 25 months sounds crazy. You'll be like, are you sure, doctor? Like someone can really do it? Why not? I've done it. I've done it, and many actually have done it. Okay, and under our consulting so far, many have actually done it. Okay, I don't want to name names now. Okay, all right. So 25 months. Then you have an additional of 11 months. Okay, 11 months, it becomes 36 months. Okay, so that is 3 years. So you have a buffer period of 11 months. What is this buffer period of 11 months? You may ask, what is it about? Okay, because you haven't considered the time required to prepare here. That means your university is not within your hands. Your time required for university to prepare for your Viva committee, your Viva external examiner to go through your thesis, to prepare that is about 3 to 4 months. This is probably about 2 months, 6 months gone. Then data collection is about, say, 2 months. Okay. So how many months? 8 months gone. So you have extra 3 months. That extra 3 months is where you fall sick, your downtime, your holiday, chasing after supervisor correction, and so on and so forth. Okay. These are the time taken. Okay. So this is the most precise time that you have for you to resolve all the issues, okay, in order to graduate before time or on time. Okay, if you follow this very strictly, this timeline, your life will be slightly easier. Okay, all right. So let's go to the next part. Okay, when I said you can generate 2 journals down there and 2 journals up there, right? Okay, you could see 4 different journals. What kind of papers can you write? Okay, most likely you probably have never heard of this. Okay, this is proposal stage papers. This is stage papers. I could do so many things in my life. Okay, so many things: PhD, publication, consulting, my own company, entrepreneur, so many things. The only thing that I cannot do in my life is to improve my handwriting. I can never do it. I don't know why. Okay, so I'm very sorry that you have to read through this the worst handwriting in the world. Okay, but let me just explain again. This is the proposal stage, and this is the thesis stage. In proposal stage, you can generate something called concept paper and SLR paper. How to do this and this, go and watch the video from yesterday. That is very helpful, and there are about 7 to 8 videos. There are extra videos related to journal writing. In case if you have any questions, okay, you can always comment in the YouTube comment box. Please comment and then share if you have any issues, okay? Protocol paper, what is this? This is something like this, but more for medical area. Okay, more for medical area, public health, and so on. Now, once you finish your proposal, then what you do? You can start generating empirical paper with your data that you collected, or SLR meta-analysis. That means SLR, a much more complex stage, which combines with your empirical data to compare data level analysis. And scoping review is something that you can do for a very broad review. Either you can do it here or you can do it at the end of your PhD to pave a roadmap from your results where to hit next. Okay, that means you already, okay, someone had already completed their PhD and research and so on, get to point A. So you go in and you tell, okay, this is not enough. I want to do something else. I want to complete and improve the world, and then you get from point A to point C. Okay, so at the end of your research, once you wrap up everything, you can do a scoping review. Okay, to do a review of overall area, how your research had been conducted. Let's say you're doing IR 4.0. From your contribution, how is IR 4.0 had been the overall scoping review, and what is going to be for the next 5 years, a roadmap. Okay, based on all the literature that you have done, all the resources that you have collected. Okay, then you can go and write a scoping review. Okay, now you may ask me, which one can go for Scopus, which one can go for ISI, doctor? Okay, this one, Scopus. This one, ISI. This one also ISI. This one, ISI, or Scopus, depending on your data. ISI, ISI. Okay, all of these are the candidates that can get into. How do I know? This thing I can guarantee you now, okay? When it comes to publication, okay, thesis writing, I can tell you what you need to do, what exactly you need to do, where you are, and what you need to do to get into that, okay? And if you're going to continue PhD, make sure you check out the requirements to graduate, okay, from a particular university. Example, UPM, you require you to get 2 ISI Q1 journals, all right? Then UKM, I think probably 1 ISI or 2 Scopus, if I'm not mistaken. compulsory 1 ISI or sometimes even 2 ISI, depending on faculties. UUM can be 2 Scopus or 2 indexed journals. UiTM Shalam, I'm not so sure. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, it's index journal or Scopus journal. UMK, all almost the same. Okay. Uniten, MMU as well. But the toughest one is always UPM, that 2 are the toughest, followed by UKM, UTM, and USM. Okay, so that's how I look at the tier when requires for publication. So this is the data that I can give you based on the current requirements. All right. Okay, inception of a thesis. Very good news to all of you. You only will have 1 thesis to write. That is the only good news I can give you when it comes to PhD. Okay, so some of you, I heard from Dr. Tahira, wants to get into PhD. Make sure your mindset is there ready. Okay, it's a war zone. Once you get in, you are in it. Okay, there is no secondary thought, there is no quitting, there is no coming out of it, and so on and so forth. It may take time. Okay, may not take 3 years, may take 5 years, may take 8 years, but it doesn't matter. As long as you have the passion, you have the patience, you have the right supervisor, as long as everything is going well, just continue. Go on the journey. Eventually, you'll find the end goal. Okay. First steps towards writing, you must sort out the skeleton. That means your table of content. Okay. Establish a writing schedule. Begin by free writing. Okay. Writing schedule means you're planning. Okay, you're planning. Keep a small notebook, a digital notebook would do, to write down relevant thoughts. Okay, because as part of what do you call that? As part of PhD process, you may tend to be very forgetting. Okay, so to avoid that, okay, you must always write down your thought process. Okay, this is the biggest devil of all time. Okay, WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Actually, I forget YouTube. YouTube, WhatsApp group, Twitter. Twitter is already there. These are the very much distracting elements in the current digital world. Okay, when you procrastinate, okay, these are the places that you will go and seek for solace. All right. So I would advise you, when you want to seek solace, don't write. Okay, if you want to write, then forget about being in peace. Throw everything away. Don't even be connected to internet. That's how you can quickly write. Okay. This one I already explained. 3 to 4 publications. Make use of EndNote and Mendeley and get someone to read a chapter as you write. Okay. So we can skip. We can go here directly. Okay. This is top 9 PhD tips. Okay. Very, very specific characteristics for you to adopt. Okay. There's a video on this. On my Facebook playlist again. So all you need to do is go back, go to Proofreading by UK PhD, go to live. Okay, the tab is right up there, and you can scroll down to top 9 PhD tips for you to go through and understand what it needs. Okay, Graduate Before Time by Dr. Tava, this one or this one. Okay, both will do. Okay, there are many different style of presenting the whole idea. Okay. So that is that for this particular poster. Okay, now comes to planning. Okay, now comes to planning. Planning, you can go by chapter. Okay, and I would also advise you to go by subtopics. Okay, subtopics. Yeah, better go by subtopics, and then start planning out your timeline, your time budget. Okay. So now I need responses from all of you. We have 61 participants today. okay, excluding organizers and moderators. I want responses from you. How many of you are actually in your PhD now and have actually tried doing this planning but never worked before? Okay, honestly, comment in the comment column because it's very boring for me to talk one way. In the comment column, please comment how many of you actually tried doing this timeline plan, whether your master's or PhD, but it never worked, because I want to tell you how to make it work. Okay, let's comment, yeah. Okay, we have 66 now. I think numbers are pretty interestingly increasing. So I don't know whether you guys having trouble with the commenting feature on YouTube or not. Okay, on desktop it's on the right hand side. Okay, I can get response from Nadsa already. Okay, so on the right hand side. For mobile phone, it's at the bottom. Okay, it's at the bottom. Unless if you tilt it horizontally, then you won't be able to see. You have to tilt it vertically for you to look at the comment columns, right? Okay, so it's called live chat. If you don't know which one, actually I got pretty confused as well. It's called live chat. Okay. Okay, under live chat, we have the first response from Nadza. Sada, it's hard for me to cope with other work, so yeah, I can hardly follow the time planning. Okay, I can understand. Okay, so I can tell you two ways to make sure that you can follow the plans. All right. Firstly, let's say, okay, this is the worst problem. Okay, let's say you have a very small whiteboard, okay, maybe the size of about yeah, Tahira, I think my internet connection got a bit of problem again. Can you hear me now, Tahira?
Yes, yes. I can hear you clearly.
Okay, all right, excellent. Oh, so we have another response. We have Raziman. Hi, Raziman. I'm in my third semester of PhD. That I participated in a session before and implemented this table. So far, helped me to maintain on course, even though some days I swayed a bit for some time off. No, at least it's a good improvement, Raziman. At least it's a very good improvement. I'm very glad to hear that. Thank you. Thanks. Good to hear that. Okay, so Raziman actually implemented. And then we have the next one. Mafusa, I've tried, but I found that it can be easily distracted with other work, doctor. How to maintain our focus to finish writing? Well, this whiteboard supposed to make you feel guilty. That's the whole purpose of it. So when you open laptop, okay, the next mode you have to do is have a laptop like that. Okay, this is how laptop keyboard and so on, right? I'm sorry, this is not the ideal drawing. This is the screen. Your wallpaper, change it to this planning as well. So whenever you turn on your laptop, you also see that. Okay. And this whiteboard, if you want, buy more than one, put it everywhere. Every corner you turn, you look at the whiteboard. The amount of guilty feeling you will get. Okay. So I think I was disconnected earlier. This whiteboard thingy, as Dr. Thaira mentioned, that I got disconnected. This whiteboard thingy, you get about the size of that big whiteboard. Okay. Hang it anywhere in your house or your office. Okay. Now all work from home, WFH. So you guys at home, hang it in your office room, hang it on your living room, buy a few, hang it everywhere. Okay, but the only problem is you have to update everywhere. Lah. Okay, but at least whenever you turn, wherever you go, it keeps reminding you. It sounds very scary, I know, but at least it keeps you going. Okay. Now it's a desperate time. Okay, so you definitely need desperate measures. So this is the most desperate measures that you can think of. So hang it everywhere so that you keep looking at it, you feel guilty eventually, and you'll get to the working part of it. Okay, all right. So I hope that will help. So you have two methods. One is whiteboard. One is me changing your entire wallpaper to your schedule itself. Okay. So I hope that would help, Miss Mafuza. I wish you all the best. And Raziman, keep it going, brother. Wait a bit for some time off. That's normal. We are humans. Even if that don't happen, that means we are already manufacturing robot already. You know, the one timing, no issues at all. We are not that. So it's okay. Don't worry. Okay. Even I'm feeling very lazy this whole week, to be honest to you. Okay. Working from home with this complete lockdown is the worst situation to be in your writing thesis, honestly speaking. All right. Okay. So now coming back to thesis writing. Okay, coming back to thesis writing. Um, Mafuza, you sound surprised. Wow. Okay. I hope that this method will help you all. Okay. All right, so we have another one. Okay, now I think we are getting more responses. We have another one from Ida, Miss Ida. I'm at the planning stage, still a step one preliminary proposal, searching supervisor. Doctor, are you able to advise how to find a good SV? Okay, what is your topic, Ida? Probably I can give you some recommendation. I know some very nice supervisors who I can give you recommendation because I work across many universities. I probably can give you some recommendation. I have, but depending on the topic. Okay, so do let me know. Let me see if I can get some good ideas. Okay. Now coming to thesis writing, everyone is frowned upon copying. Yeah, cannot copy lah, cannot. Oh, adopt lah, yo, cannot lah, wrong lah, academically wrong lah, wrong. Of course, wrong. If you go and copy someone else's result, of course, wrong. But when it comes to literature writing, methodology writing, you can always take the idea, see how they are writing, adopt the content, put into your writing and rewrite. Because when you rewrite, you are understanding your own. Okay. You cannot build a building exactly like KLCC and claim it your own. That is wrong. Okay. But you can always look at KLCC and then try to mimic almost the same but make it even better. Then you're already understanding on how to build KLCC and already understand how to make it better than that. Okay. That is not called plagiarism. That's called reverse engineering. Okay. That is ethical paraphrasing is what I call it. Okay. So not everything is wrong. Okay. People who doesn't understand the concept calls everything wrong. Right? Okay. So where do you go and look for thesis? Okay, you look for thesis here. OATD open thesis, this or ethos. This is where you go look for thesis. See how they have written. Look at the structural point of view, and from there, you can rebuild your own thesis. Okay, and then papers. That's where you go. Okay, and mistakes to avoid paraphrasing out of context. Be careful of that. Out of date content and don't copy results. Don't copy it. That's wrong. By any measure, that is wrong. Okay, Aida, my topic of capital structure, crowdfunding, finance. Okay. I always like the supervision of Dr. Amir Hamza. Okay, Professor Amir Hamza. He's a very good friend of mine. He said he used to be in UPM, the government side, but now he's at UPM PBS. But I think recently he's moving to a private college, if I'm not mistaken. So he is a good candidate. Other than that, capital structure, funding, finance. I think you should also look at if you're going to do conventional or Sharia based, depending on that. If Sharia based, I think UCM has some very good lecturers as well. Conventional, but if you go into UKM, UPM, the conventional guys, it's going to be very tough. Okay, so if you're okay for toughness, then you can definitely try those universities. All right. Okay, so where to go and find journals? Okay, journals, we have Scopus, ISI, ABDC, if you're in business, finance, and so on. ERA, okay, wherever you go and look for journal, please don't cite journals that are already listed in bills list. Please don't, okay? That is bad. This is bad, okay? Because these are all scam journals, so don't go for this, okay? All right? Good journals to look for. I mean, in terms of publishing houses, okay, publishing houses, Elsevier, Taylor Francis, MDPI, Wiley, IEEE, Sage, PLOS, Nature, Emerald. Very good publishing houses. Good place for you to go and look for papers. Okay. Now, how many of you actually use two screens when you guys work? Okay. Okay, now I don't have the time to go through every one, but never mind. Let me tell you the benefits of using two screens. If you haven't used two screens, let me tell you the benefits of it. Okay. So now, if you have one screen, okay, let's say you don't have this. This is your laptop or your iPad or your desktop, whatever lah. Okay. You are reading, okay, and then you want to take the sentence, you minimize, you maximize, and then you paste, and then you rewrite, and then you be like, hey, what is the next sentence? Okay, and then you minimize, you maximize, you read again, you copy, and then you minimize, you maximize, and then you write again, and then rewrite, paste, and suddenly you'll be like, hey, wait, how do I connect with the previous sentence? Does it make sense? Let me go back and see whether contextually correct or not. Minimize again, maximize, open the original paper, read again, oh, this is the whole meaning. Okay, minimize again, maximize again. This is only for two sentences. How many minimize, maximizing already operations? Many. Okay, that's crazy amount of time waste. Crazy amount. Okay, honestly. So my advice to you is always use dual screen. Okay, some might say I want to split the screen. That is not very convenient because for you to switch, it's not very convenient. Okay, my advice to you is use extended screen with two screens. If you're using laptop, there's a connection there. You can connect to another screen. If you have desktop, then you can just immediately use two screens. If you what do you call that? If you're using iPad, you can connect wirelessly through screens as well. Okay, all right. Don't use your phone as a working tool or reading mechanism because it's very stressful to your eyes. Okay. Why is that important? Now, once you have two screens, you can smash your writing here, your writing document here, and you can just read here. No minimizing, no maximizing business. You can write, read, write, read, write, read. Copy, paste, write, read. Very easy. You save a lot of time. Okay, a lot of time. If you don't believe me, this will cost you less than 200 bucks. Okay, probably less than 100 if you go for second hand. Try it and then come and tell me. Okay, all you need is either HDMI, digital cable, DVI, or VGA. All right. Okay, now coming to the most common software that is being wrongly sold to postgraduate students and academicians and getting screwed royally. Okay, that is the worst software in the world ever made. Okay, honestly, trust me on this. Okay, you can ask to any experienced people who got screwed by this software before. Okay, this is a very good example. This is a whole writing, okay, by a student from USM when he submitted his thesis, got completely stored in repository. Okay, the problem with that is now you cannot publish journals, in any journals because everything is plagiarized now. Okay, that's the problem, right? So now he has to rewrite. Okay, so he has to paraphrase. So he went and bought this software. Okay, because that is how people are selling it on Facebook. They're selling this the savior that came to save everyone who is copying, okay, or plagiarizing, or self-plagiarizing. So he did so, and then he submitted the paper to the journal and got immediately rejected without resubmission because, oh, thank you, Hanafi, thank you very much. Okay, he submitted and then got immediately rejected because this genius, this guy, went and paraphrased Quillbot, but never checked back. He never actually read back for him to understand whether the context is there or not, whether the context lari ready or not, and so on and so forth. Okay, so what happened? He submitted, and the editor found out that some of the facts are wrong. Some of the facts are wrong, scientifically not proven yet. Okay, so he rejected without resubmission. He said, "Don't ever come back and resubmit again." Right? So then I did analysis for him. He didn't understand what happened. So I did analysis for him. Okay, actually we together did it. Okay, we met together and we did it. Basically, the yellow parts are all bad grammar. That's okay. Okay, the journal is not going to punish you for that. They'll just say go and proofread and come back. Okay, to be honest, that's not a big deal here. The red part is total change of context. This is a very big deal now. If you see, for an example, this particular phrase, this distributed scheduling algorithm became a distributed scheduler. That's a big offense in this area. Okay, very big offense because instead of algorithm, now it sounds like Google Calendar. Okay, this doesn't sound like contribution anymore. Okay, doesn't sound like literature. It's wrongly cited literature, wrongly stated literature. Right. Next thing here you can see theoretically increasing end-to-end latency. Now, here if you see the original phrase, it only said potentially, okay, potentially increase end-to-end latency. Potential is different, theoretical is different. Let me relate that back to COVID. You can potentially reduce infection if you use 2 masks. There is no data to prove. So what they say? They say potentially. Okay, they never say theoretically. Why they cannot say theoretically? Because there is no data. There is no data to prove that theoretically there is a framework that says if you wear 2 masks, it will actually reduce. They say don't take the chances. Guard yourself with more layer of masks. Okay, that is the difference. So here potentially means there is a chance, but it's not proven. But here the author or Quillbot mistakenly declared for the author that there is theoretical underlying empirical evidence that it increases end-to-end latency. That's a very big bad claim. Okay, this is one of the major reasons, according to the editor, that once we did the analysis, I asked him to email the editor and ask, can we resubmit or not? He flagged this. Okay, and that is very dangerous. Okay, so my advice to you is you don't need to outsource, okay, because it costs you money. Okay, you can learn and do it on your own. Honestly speaking, you can definitely. If I can, you also can. Why not? Right? I'm like every other Malaysian. My English was horrible before I went to UK. My supervisor almost committed suicide looking at my writing. Trust me, almost committed suicide looking at my writing. My first conference paper went through 17 rounds of revisions because that's how bad my English was. Horrible, horrendous. I was very embarrassed to be honest. Okay, especially in the UK. So I read a lot. I basically reverse engineering lah. I'm an engineer by trade, so I reverse engineer a lot of English sentence structure and so on. I learn English. I read through books and so on, and that's how I improved. Okay, now I'm running the most successful proofreading company in the whole over Malaysia and one of the leading in the world. It's because of me reading a lot. Okay, I took upon myself that I have to read at least 1 paper per day to improve my English. Not just knowledge, not just gap, not just literature, just to improve my English in terms of writing. Okay. So when I did the whole paraphrasing thing, I took this challenge. I told him, you know what? Don't even pay me yet. You let me do it. If it gets through, then you pay me. I took the challenge. Like I said, you never come to me earlier, although you came to me for your thesis. But let me paraphrase this for you. I'm pretty sure this will get into some journals. It got published eventually. I only did 1 round, 100% straight to 20%. Okay. And Quillbot did 100%, only went to 61%. Only 1 round and already destroyed almost 70% of the writing. So imagine if you need to go through a few times, okay, that means 61, one more iteration, 30, one more iteration, 18 or 17%. By then, this engineering paper will sound more like finance paper already. Okay, that's the fact Quillbot will do. So please don't get carried away with people selling software to you, because people who are selling, they are not actually using it. Okay, if anyone selling to you Quillbot, ask them, have you used Quillbot? Submit to ISI Q1 journals got accepted just based on Quillbot. Please show me the evidence. Ask them. If they can show, then buy. Okay, all right. Okay, usual problems when it comes to writing long sentences or complex sentences, writing too much. Okay, this is because to meet page count, especially certain universities in Malaysia are pretty crazy in terms of page count. Brain date, this one is very common nowadays, okay, especially if you're working from home, all of us. So very hard to overcome this actually. You have to really, I don't have an answer for that, especially work from home. Okay, I think you have to take it easy on yourself. Okay, you have to take it a bit easy on yourself compared to you working, crazily. You have to follow the flow, all right? And remember, it's your thesis, not your supervisor's. Yes, he will have, but not always. Okay, because eventually, this is the ugly truth. Eventually, you fail, nothing will happen to you. You pass, he has an extra PhD student. That's about it. Okay, there's some contribution that he will get, but eventually, it's your life that is going to transform. So remember that. So he has any obligation, he or she don't have any obligation to make sure that you pass. If they do, you are very, very lucky. Awesome supervisor. do recommend that person to everyone else, but not everyone. 90% of them are not going to be like that. 95% probably. Okay. You have no clue what is going on. It's normal being part of PhD. What to put in the chapter, go back and read thesis. My language so bad. Please, please, please learn how to do proofreading, or make sure you get a good proofreading firm that will support you, that will buffer you. Okay. All right. The cushioning is very important. Okay, this is what we call table of content. Okay, table of content. This is what you need to build before you start writing, so that you and your supervisor are on the same page. Okay. Okay, now coming to the reality. Even if there is table of content, I still can't write now. Okay, despite all the advantage and all the good point that is given by table of content, I still can't write now. Why? What is the main issue? Okay. This is the main issue, especially now working from home. This is even worse, horrible issue now. Okay, this is the planning, as things I should do and things I would like to do. Okay, these are the two important things that we're supposed to be doing, but actually we go completely out of scope. See, there's no connection. Things I do when I'm procrastinating. Okay, this is the device. Okay, is this true? Honestly answer. Okay, is this the true problem that you're facing that is hindering your writing process, delaying your writing process, and so on? Do genuinely and honestly in the comment column answer me. So do comment. If it is true, okay, if this is the problem that you're facing, I would advise you when you get into a room and you isolate yourself to write, this download all the related literature, download everything, keep in a folder, okay, disconnect yourself from internet, your phone, throw it outside your room, okay, don't keep it anywhere near you, and then start writing, okay. Your hand will somehow disconnect Wi-Fi, disconnect Wi-Fi off your modem if required, okay, or forget your Wi-Fi so it doesn't connect automatically. Why? This is how you can lock yourself up. There is no choice, because it's a type of what do you call it? It's a type of um, it's a type of influence. Okay, it's a type of influence. Tutor, oh no, seems like it's true. Yes, I know it is true. Okay, it is an influence, a negative influence. You get addicted. Yeah, it's an addiction actually. It's an addiction. So my advice to you is lock yourself up. Okay, disconnect from all of this and then focus on writing. That is the only way you can do. Go offline. Okay, don't go online when you're writing. Okay, I wish you all the best with that. Now coming to abstract. Okay, abstract is very simple. And when you write abstract, you're supposed to have introduction, statement of the problem, background of the study, research questions or hypothesis, methods and procedures, outcome and significant contributions. Sounds like a lot, right? Actually, this is the executive summary of your whole document. So your abstract must have all these important elements. Okay? Okay, this one we can skip. Okay, chapter 1. Now coming to chapter 1. Okay. Chapter 1 you can break down into background, minor literature review, problem statement, solution, and then comes your research objective, research questions, and whatever that comes thereafter. Okay. Now, these are the important elements. Why? Because this all takes the form of motivation. Okay. If there is no motivation, people won't be bothered to read your thesis. You won't get anywhere with it. All right. Okay. So my advice to you is Okay, my advice to you is make sure you deduce this, you construct and structure this very carefully. For an example, how the structure can be in background, you can introduce your audience, your subject initially. Include some statistics, how important is this topic. Followed by minor literature review, you can describe key past literature, key items. Start from bigger picture and work your way down. Okay, you must build a funnel system. Right, that means broad, not so broad, narrow, very narrow. Okay, derive the problem in a flow. Grab your audience attention. Be extremely critical, extreme. Okay. Next thing comes to solution. So you are critical. How you going to solve it? It is imperative that you nail the problem. So be confident and describe how you contribute to knowledge. Explain the segments if required. Once you do all these things correctly, then you can get here. Now, where can I get a more detailed class of this? Again, go back to here, right? Go back here, go back to this live. You can find various videos on chapter 1. Okay, many videos. How to read journal for research gap, developing problem statement, where is chapter 1, the chapter 1 writing series 2, series 1. These two will cover most of it. Okay, 3,300 views and 1,600 views. These two will cover a lot of bases that is required for you. Okay, all right. So go back to this. Now I need the help of UiTM again. Please share this because we have many new joiners earlier. Okay, please share the link. I already put in the chat box. Those links that I'm going to share now. The first one is the Telegram group that is part of our community. Okay, whenever I go live and so on, I'll be announcing that group. Effective Academic Writing is a second link that has all daily tutorials. It's a forum, very big forum. You can share your questionnaire, collect data, and so on and so forth. Third one is Facebook page where you can find all the videos. Okay, and when I go live, I'll be always on the Facebook page. And finally, the fourth link is the free Facebook classes, the entire playlist. Okay, so please help me to post this again on the comment column. Yeah. Okay, coming to this. This is what I call TCD. Thesis contribution diagram. Okay, basically very simple. I derived my whole I derived my whole thesis into this diagram. Okay, I show it in a diagram manner. Okay, topic, subtopics, further breaking down of subtopics. Okay, and then my individual contributions. Okay, in each subtopics. You may ask how you come you got so many contributions because I had the requirement to publish a lot of papers. Okay, in a very short time, I published 12 papers. Okay, within 2 years and 6 months, 8 months, I published 12 papers at 8 ISI Q1 journals and 4 ISI conferences. Okay, and these are the contributions that led to those papers. So let's calculate this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 papers. All right. And why this diagram is important? Because the moment you are in Viva, okay, you're presenting to your examiners, okay, your examiner asks you, okay, now tell me what are your contributions in your thesis. So very simple. Don't need to worry. Show this page, okay, turn it to it, say, or if you have PowerPoint slide, just go to this PowerPoint slide and show these are all my contributions. Then you can explain for your topic how you break down the subtopics and how did you contribute to all other areas. Okay, this is the graphical abstract of your whole thesis. Okay, your graphical abstract. Okay, so now you can see the comment appearing on Facebook, on YouTube already from UiTM Johor. Join Dr. Tava's channel Telegram. There's the first link. Next thing is group. Okay, and followed next one is Facebook page, and finally free classes is the fourth link. Make sure you guys join all of it. All right. And save the fourth link, that will be helpful for you. This is your graphical abstract of your whole thesis. This is also known as K chart. Okay, I just found out recently. I just did it on this on my own, but eventually I thought that then when I found out there's actually a name for it called K chart. Okay, from that another graduate went on to do the same concept after going through my classes. Dr. Anusha from UUM. She graduated 2 years ago, no, 1 year ago, or 1.5 years, I think. PhD in law, okay? Because a lot of people told me, is this really applicable for social science? Of course it is. Here's the evidence. Okay, PhD in law, existing contribution areas, okay, the whole subject area, and these are all her new contributions. The examiners were flustered, they loved it, okay? So I would advise you to create this kind of graphical abstract, make sure that all of them can follow what you're trying to do, okay? All right? Now, problem statement. Okay, there are 3 to 4 classes on problem statement in my playlist. You can also go and watch for a complete explanation of this. But problem statement, you can break down into 4 segments. Put the problem in context, describe the precise issue that the research will address, show the relevance of the problem, set objectives of the research. Okay, what does it mean by this form? First of all, you are trying to explain what do we already know, what do we need to know. Okay, that means this is existing knowledge, the motivation to know new, to explore new knowledge. All right, followed by why do you have to explore the new knowledge? What is the significance of it? And finally, what will you do to find out your own solution? Your problem statement is supposed to explain all of this. Okay, this is where your research questions may come in, a form of a research question. All right, so this is how you can structure a problem statement very, very carefully. Right. Okay, these are some of the inspirations. Okay, you can see your own member is here as well, Dr. Tahira. Okay, so she is the most glorious achievement for me for this year. Okay, so first of all, Dr. Ravi, partially blind, one of my consultants as well. Okay, completed slightly over 3 years, but since he was partially blind and he couldn't focus anymore, he had to get my help at certain point of time where I had to coach him a lot. Okay, my team basically coached him a lot. Followed by Dr. Muthu, also the same. He's a full-time employee. I think slightly over 3 years or 4 years. Followed by Dr. Sumtai Kit, only proofreading. We never coached him. There was no consulting involved. Also, he's at UiTM Malacca, also one of my clients. Successfully passed and did very well. Dr. Umul Hanim UMS, okay, took about 5 years plus to complete. She also we only proofread, never consult her, okay. And Dr. Tahira, finally, actually, to be honest, she is my Oscar award, okay. Because to get someone to complete PhD in less than 3 years is doable. But to get someone like what she went through, okay, honestly, I know what she went through. She went through a lot of hardship during a PhD, okay, and for her to complete with all the energy that she had and all the determination that she had, okay, I can never forget that day that she came to see me in my office in Siswazah with her husband. And eventually, right, I think about 6 or 7 months after that, okay, on 1st of March, she announced that she already completed her PhD. Okay, I really, okay, Tahira said she cried again. Okay, don't cry. Okay. I think this was a very, very phenomenal and fabulous achievement for me. Okay, to get someone to assist them, to guide them to complete PhD almost after 10 years. The spirit that she had, the energy that she had, it was okay. So it was impossible to match. Okay, so I'm just glad that everything went well for her, and I would like to congratulate her in her own university itself. Okay, so thank you very much, Tahira. All right,
Thank you very much to you too.
no problem. Okay, so now getting to the literature review part. Okay, so literature review part we already covered very, very minimally on chapter 1. Okay, but I already given you the necessary resources on where to get for the full guidance. All right. So literature review is nothing but how other scholars have written about your own topic. Okay, that is all literature review is about. That's what you're going to look at. Okay, in a very plain words, plain set of words. That's how you can explain it. Okay, and then you're going to look into the range of theories used to analyze materials or data or framework, right? How other scholars connect their specific research topics to larger issues, questions, or practices within the field. Okay, the best methodologies and research techniques for your particular topic. Okay, this is all very, very abstract level of explaining. Okay, very theoretical way of explaining. How I can explain to you, okay, literature review is very simple. Okay, you're going to read a work and you're going to start complaining about it. That's called literature review. As simple as that. The most Easiest way I can explain to you is you must complain. Okay, you must complain. Only then you'll be able to find new gaps that you can start filling up. Okay, if you're just going to read to learn, okay, to just gather knowledge and so on, there's nothing there to find gaps. Okay, you just have to learn how to complain. Okay, the moment you can start complaining about other people's paper, eventually you start learning as well. Okay, indirectly. Literature review is all about complaining. Okay. Okay. How to read a paper as part of a literature review process? Okay. First of all, you must read minimum one paper per day. All right, one paper per day. Start reading the abstract. Okay. People will be like, how do I read one paper per day? With my kids around, with my staying at home, working from home, crazy to read one paper per day. I'm not asking you to read the whole paper. I'm going to give you a technique for you to eliminate unnecessary papers because as part of literature review, elimination is also a process. Whether you're doing it through SLR process or whether you're doing it through manual process. If you ask me, I prefer to do it through manual process because I want to be sure that that is a paper that I don't want to read. I want to be 100% sure. I'll be paranoid in that sense. Okay. To start reading the abstract, look at the findings and abstracts and in the abstract and achievement. Okay. That means look at the findings and achievement within abstract. See whether those are related to your study or not. Not related, throw the paper in a trash bin. Okay. Analyze if the findings, if they say it is okay, then go to the next part. Analyze if the finding or research is adequate. If finding and research is adequate, suits your area, okay. Wait, we have a comment here. Doctor, they say we must read to get a good literature review, but what if after reading continuously and reread, you still could not decipher what is being written? What should we do? Okay, that's a very good question, Rohayu. That's a fantastic question, actually. So now, reading and continuously reading, if you don't understand, that means you are learning. Okay, that means you are learning. Why I'm saying that? Because if you read everything and immediately understand, that means those are all existing knowledge in your head. There is no point for you to read those anymore because you're not going to learn anything new. These kind of papers that you cannot decipher, you got to break it down. Okay, you got to break it down. Introduction part dah clear. Okay, dah clear, dah baca, dah clear. You understand everything. Okay. Slash your introduction part. Let's go to literature. Literature part you're reading, okay, after reading you feel very clear, okay, dah clear semua, okay, then you slash it up. Okay, then you go to the method part. Okay, method part may get a bit complex, may a bit hard for you to decipher. Okay, try to break it down, go down to the references they have cited, read those references. If required for you to go back to books, then you go back to books. Okay, because this one process of learning will accelerate the rest of your journey to read other papers. Okay, then go to results. Maybe you don't understand. Talk to people who understands results, who understand analysis, who can who understands quantity or quality better. Talk to them. Try to decipher with them. See, PhD is not a lonely journey. Trust me on that. I can guarantee that it's not a lonely journey. That's why I get a lot of viewers, a lot of free talks, because they all want me to come and sit down and discuss with them, talk to them, share with them, and so on. Similarly, you have to form, but I only have one me. Okay, so you have to find more appropriate people to form a group, a peer group, for you to sort of cross check. There might be many experts in UiTM or maybe in other universities. You can start engaging them. Say, I have read this paper, but I really cannot understand. Or workshops. Okay, decipher stage by stage. Don't try to decipher the whole paper. You will go crazy. You'll get nuclear bombed by doing that. Okay, don't do that. Go stage by stage. First, break down the methodology. Can understand or not? Okay, dah understand. Sampling dah faham. How to collect data, semua dah clear. Okay, keep that aside. Next, go to analysis. You don't understand what the hell is going on. You don't understand smart PLIs. You don't understand AMOS and so on and so forth. It's okay. Go to the classes, go YouTube, go Dr. Prof. Ramia's class or whatever workshop lah. Whoever, I think there's another one, Dr. Jimmy or something like that. Okay. So go to this class, try to understand that. Okay. Once you already understand, come back, then you try to decipher. Once you can decipher these two areas, literature and discussion will be very straightforward. Okay. Take it one at a time. Okay. Tackle, break down the problems. Don't take all at a time. All right. So now, right after reading, I hope that is helpful, Rohayu. Okay. Analyze if the finding or research adequate. Okay, then proceed next stage. Now read the conclusion. Remember, after abstract, these two I'm asking you to read abstract. Then I'm asking you to go to conclusion, not introduction. Okay. See if there are any limitations or not. Okay. Why? So that you can create gap. Okay. Or that can be a problem that you can look into. Okay. Now all this good. You like it. You want to read this paper further. Okay. Then only you go to introduction. Read up until you reach before problem statement. So that before problem statement is your motivation. Okay. Analyze under what circumstances are the authors justifying the problem statement. Why? To possibly discredit the paper. See whether the paper is good or not. Not good, then start criticizing. Start complaining, like I told you. Okay. Next, read the problem statement carefully. Once the motivation is good, then go to problem statement. Figure out if all grounds of problems were covered. This is something that you have to analyze. Remember, finally, analyze literature review and discussion, and only after that, final thing is your results. Okay. Any assumptions or gaps that the paper left out, okay, for you to check, or anything more that you can add to the current findings of the paper. Okay, so if you realize, I'm asking you to read the paper this way: abstract, conclusion, introduction, discussion, barulah sekali result. Okay, the rest usually reads like this. That's why they waste a lot of time. That's why they have to read a lot of useless papers. But if you go this method, you will eliminate very, very quickly. Okay, knowing whether it's required or not. Okay. Reading critically and creatively. Never assume authors are correct. Never. Just because they publish an ISI Q1 doesn't mean they're correct. Right? There are more chances for them to be fake news rather than being correct. But they can be fake news because they're an ISI Q1. That means fake news means people will trust. Propaganda. It could be propaganda, could be a fake propaganda, but very hard to discredit them, but doesn't mean they're correct. Okay, doesn't mean they are right. So you have to be in your defense, you must be critical, be suspicious. Critical reading involves asking appropriate questions. That is called critical reading. What are the questions? Before that, you have to understand some papers offers new ideas, some implements, and others bring previous ideas and unite them under novel framework. So there can be three different papers, three different kind of papers. So according to the kind of papers, you must ask the right questions. Okay, but generally, critical reading can include asking, is this paper worth at all? No, throw. What problems these authors trying to solve? Analyze that first. Is it the right problem? Can you find any problem with that? Can you complain or not? Cannot complain? Okay, next thing. Are there much simpler solution? Can you complain on the solution? No? Okay, next thing. What are the limitations of the solutions? Can you complain on the limitation? Obvious and hidden. This one needs extra knowledge. Hidden. Okay. Still cannot complain. Okay, next complaint. Were the assumptions reasonable? Can complain or not? No assumptions? Okay. Can you discredit the work and create a new gap? Maybe yes. Okay, that's a complaint. Okay, try to work on it. Try to push on it. Still cannot. Okay, still okay. Is the methodology rigorous? Maybe methodology very weak. Maybe data collection tak cukup. Maybe only 40 samples for a quantitative work or not enough. Okay, maybe you can write on it. So these are the questions you need to ask for you to find answers. All right. Let's say all these questions you ask, everything perfect. Okay. Now let's read creatively. No more critical, because now you have to expand the work rather than discredit the work. Okay. Now let's read creatively. The ideas in the paper have other applications or extensions. Can we do something else with the solution? Some other ways to solve it? Can it be developed further? Are there improvements that might make important difference? What would you do next from the author left? This is all creative thinking. Okay. Answer all the questions above in a literature review or matrix. Okay. This is what we call literature review or matrix. I shared about this in my group. Okay. Please go to my group here and read this post. Okay. I have shared, excuse me. I have shared here how to generate literature matrix very quickly. Okay. Almost 600 shares already. Please go and have a look at this post. Okay. I can also share this. It's helpful. Okay. UiTM, need your help, please. Share that particular post. Okay. So this is the explanation like that post. You can go through that. Okay. Now coming to methodology is very simple. You do based on your gap, whatever that is required, you do. Okay. Whether you choose quanti, whether you choose quali, whether you choose mixed, whether you choose empirical simulation, anything else, you have to justify and make sure that you follow the right rules of designing methodology. Okay. Results. This is only important if you did well in previous sections. Otherwise, readers will be bored and probably won't even read it. This is true. Huh? Okay. Like I said, your proposal part is more important compared to your, no, not more important, it's more tougher compared to your thesis part. You must get that right so that later process will be easier. So you don't get into major correction, reviva, and all these things. Okay, you got to solve your problem as you go. Don't accumulate the problem to the end. Okay, now coming to the whole PhD consultancy 11 steps to graduate before time. This is how do we normally guide. Okay, as I explained earlier, we have step 1 all the way to step 6 under proposal, step 7 to step 11 under thesis. Depending on where you are, if you are stuck, how we normally help you? Well, we also help you on journal extraction as well. That is something that we do very frequently. Okay. So depending on analysis also, we work on Smart PLS, AMOS, SPSS, NVivo. We don't do Atlas. Atlas is not very friendly. The wide audience actually uses NVivo. And then we also work on MATLAB, right? So any of these, we are very familiar. Programming C, C++, we used to do, but the cost is very high. So, it's not really very friendly. Okay. So how do we normally help? We have something called mode 1. This is what we call content commenting. Okay, content commenting means what? Once you finish something, you need help, you go to your supervisor, you don't get the necessary comment. Maybe it's too busy or it's not critical enough. You just say, okay, all looks okay, okay, proceed, but you're not happy. A lot of people like, they don't feel comfortable. They want more comments. So then they come to us. We will give the comments until sometimes they will feel very sick. Okay, they'll be like, oh, got so many problems in my work. That's our responsibility, lah. Okay, to make sure that you feel sick, right? Next thing, something I call face-to-face or online coaching. Okay, this one, okay, this part is applicable after this. Okay, we don't do face-to-face for now due to the pandemic. Or some people never write anything. Like I'm start of the PhD, but I haven't done anything yet. Excuse me. What can I do? How do I start? Then you just come straight to mode 2 lah. We do online coaching directly. Okay, or mode 3, accelerated thesis consultancy. This is something very much applicable for very busy people. Okay, very busy people. So what we'll do is we'll design a schedule. We'll tell them, okay, now your chapter 1 background, please, this is the material you need. Go and write, come back. Okay, this is the date we're going to meet up. We're going to discuss together. I'm going to give you comment and you go and improve. Okay, then we jump to next section. Okay, next is writing, say problem statement. Okay, now go, come back. It's very much guided. Extremely guided lah, mode 3. Okay. Then finally, content editing for special cases only, where we will edit the content, but that is a very special case to case basis. Okay, all right. So this is how we normally help. That is our consultancy program. Now coming to results and discussion. Okay, discussion part is important. When you provide a result, please assure that you describe all the important elements, including interpretations, declaring opinions, explaining effects of findings, and making suggestions and predictions. Discussions must answer research questions. Okay, remember this. This is the most important thing, especially in social science. Okay. In addition, justify why that event took place. Introduce some theories just to justify the event. Okay. This is also important. Perhaps credit some famous authors who had experienced something similar if and only if required. Because sometimes when you have wrong result, you cannot justify. Okay, in those circumstances, you can include references to support. Okay, so I have a question from e-tutor. Dr. Tava, you have earlier mentioned about the techniques on how to systematically read articles. Would you recommend that one should print out articles to better comprehend and focus? Depending upon you. If you are old school, you can print out, make sure you file everything. But later on, but make sure that means you have a copy in your desktop or your laptop, wherever, cloud, and also have what do you call that on your Mendeley or EndNote and so on. So you can easily trace back. But downloading and reading offline is definitely a good idea. No harm on that. But I still prefer reading online. That means in the laptop or desktop itself, because I can directly copy whatever information I want into literature matrix. I don't need to redo again. Okay, we are chasing against time, right? So we try to work optimally possible. But it's up to you, your style, whatever that makes you comfortable. Okay, all right. Okay, conclusion and future work. Conclusion is extremely important. Start by introducing what you did. Okay, conclusion is not the same as abstract. Okay, not the same, right? Siti Aisha, can you explain about conceptual and theoretical framework? How are they different from each other? Right, Christian? Go to my right video. Okay, this is a whole topic on itself. That is itself is 1 hour class. Okay, so again, I am sorry that I have to redirect a lot of resources I have already done already. So go back here. Here, theory, theoretical framework, conceptual framework, and then conceptual framework design. These two videos will give you more than enough information. Okay, so make sure you go and watch it. Okay. Okay, so conclusion not the same as abstract, and start by introducing what you did. This is all about highlighting your contributions and highlighting your impacts. That's what you need to do in the conclusion, because you got to sell it very, very hard. Okay, you have to sell it. If I were you, I would minimize future work. Why? Now, example, like let's say example of Dr. Tahira, who just recently graduated. Okay, if she wrote a whole lengthy future work, that's just giving out all your hard work on a silver platter to someone else. Why would you want to do that? You can give them some guidance, lah, but don't be so nice also. Because like Dr. Tahira now, when she has KPI, she wants to publish where she can go. Because she just finished PhD. She can go back to a PhD thesis. Take, extract out whatever results required, whatever that extra things, reviews, scoping, whatever, all of that, take out to meet at least 1 to 2 years of KPI for now. Until she get PhD students, she start generating new papers, she start her own research group, whatever lah. Okay, that makes her comfortable. Just give you an example. So minimize future work. Have your own strategy, right? Okay. And defending your thesis. Again, go back to my class on 25 common questions. Okay, this already gave minor correction for 4 PhD students so far within 3 months. Okay, very, very, very effective class. Go and have a look at it. All right. Okay. Okay, this is production tips. Once you complete the first draft, shut it down, take a break, refresh, and read it through again. Okay. Why is it important to do that? Because then only you'll find more problem, more issues. Okay. Don't assume your reader understands everything. Explain and be descriptive. If you do the first item, I can guarantee you, when you open back in 2 to 3 days, you will feel like, who wrote this? Is it really me? So bad. Yeah, I've realized that myself before. Okay. So make sure the ideas are well structured in the paper. Avoid all over the place method. Okay. Assure that every paragraph has continuity. Avoid disconnected paragraphs. Okay. Polish and always polish, and make sure you get a solid editor. This is very important. Not because I'm selling proofreading service. I don't need to sell it this way. I'm already very busy, to be honest. Okay, but my personal advice to you, the more and more I'm seeing revival, major correction, people struggling because of language and so on. Like Dr. Tahira, her language was naturally very good, to be fair. Okay, to be fair. So at the end, we did most of the coaching, very little proofreading. Okay, but some people's language, when I read, I sometimes want to faint. Okay, because I cannot understand anything. So that requires paraphrasing, not even proofreading editing. So you know your work. If you read, you feel like you're a bit going to faint, you want to go into a hospital ward, then you definitely you need proofreading. Okay, so whether you do it on your own or you outsource it, that's totally up to you. Okay, but make sure it is done. Get someone experienced in publishing or a PhD. Please don't get someone to do it. Like yesterday, one client, she messaged me on Sunday. Okay, no, Sunday. She messaged me, yesterday was Wednesday. She messaged me on Monday. So Tuesday I was very busy, so I had to reply her late. Okay, and then she responded yesterday. You were late and I couldn't wait, so I already paid someone. I need urgently. Then I told her, how long do you have for proofreading? She said 1.5 weeks. I said, you crazy, yeah. Go ask someone to proofread within 1.5 weeks. You're going to destroy your thesis. Okay, even if you ask me, even if I respond on time, I won't do it. Minimum 1 month. Minimum for a thesis. Okay, money is secondary. Important is you need to graduate. Okay, you need to get good results. That is how Dr. Tava gets good name. Okay, otherwise, If everyone starts failing, everyone's thesis start falling apart. After I finish 1 week, I already made a lot of money, but my name will go down the drain, and your curse will make my life miserable. So I'm against that. Okay, I have at least 3 to 4 layers of proofreading model. Okay, that is my own layers lah, my own company secret lah, how I do it. Okay, we go through very rigorous process to make sure we keep up the quality. Okay, so that's why like I told her yesterday, now she's very worried. Say I already paid. What am I supposed to do? Then I told her, well, 1.5 weeks, no one can help you. If I were you, I would just pull back, take back the money. Don't even submit after examination, because sometimes the damage that the proofreader does in 1.5 weeks will be worse than what they have written, because they are rushing. They are rushing. 1.5 weeks is not even enough for you to read the whole thesis. How can you proofread the thesis? Think about it. So always plan in advance. Okay. And my simple question is, if you give someone because they are cheap or they are fast, ask them, do you have a PhD? Have you proofread your own thesis? Okay, let me see your thesis. If you don't know the person, if you're not confident, okay. If they don't have a PhD, why would you want to give your PhD to them? Many proofreaders in Malaysia charging 3 ringgit a page, 4 ringgit a page, 5 ringgit a page. That is lower than the minimum wage in Malaysia. You think they're going to do a good job? Well, good luck to you. Okay, whoever chooses that. Okay. Can a non-PhD graduate supervise your PhD? They can't. Then how can they proofread your thesis? Think about it. Same goes to publication as well. If they don't know what is ISI's purpose, how would they know what content, how the language should be? They don't know. Okay. All right. So this is the most important document, professional proofreading certificate, especially for journal, and most universities nowadays, they want this certificate. I've had in the past many people come and ask me just for the certificate, because how strong is our certificate, as we are endorsed by SFPP, HRDF, and as well as ISO 9001. We are the only ISO 9001 certified company in Malaysia in academic consulting area. Okay. So people will come tell me, can you just proofread my abstract, give me a certificate? I told him, I don't want the money, I don't want an abstract, I'm not going to give you a certificate. I will only give if I proofread from abstract all the way to the end. Otherwise, I wouldn't give. Okay, because this is very valuable material. Okay, so always have this and make sure you submit this before you submit your publication or your thesis, your school. Okay. Okay, when do I proofread my thesis and how to avoid scammers? Because banyak scammers tu banyak sekarang. Many are starting to work online because they have no income, and eventually a lot of students are getting screwed. Okay, it's an outbreak actually. Okay, since last year actually, since 2000, end of 2019, 2020 was even worse. Okay, so when do I submit my thesis for proofreading? Once the entire supervisory committee agreed on the content of thesis. Otherwise, don't. Okay, seriously don't. But sometimes my FSP refuse to read my content because language is poor. Then what do I do? Okay, then go ahead for complete proofreading editing structuring service. But don't forget, you need to ask another question. But after my SP check, they will change the content, obviously, again, or you will change as well. Do I have to repay for the whole thesis proofreading? That depends on the proofreader. That's my answer. But B, proofreading by UK PhD only requires you to highlight the changes only, and will only be charged for the new parts. Okay, we won't charge for the whole document. Okay, we won't charge for the whole document. How if my examiner still complains on the language? Okay, even to us, sometimes it happens. Now, in the past few years, very little, almost close to, I would say, 1% or 2%. We have our own analytics. Okay, we are running a very strong quality system as well. So we do our own measure. Okay, a proofreader should provide something called language warranty. That's why I dare enough to give language warranty, because I know my rejection rate is close to 1% or 2% only. On weekly basis, we are getting at least 6 to 8 papers. These are all the recent papers that got accepted. Okay, I haven't had the time to go online yet. Like these are all the papers that got accepted last week. Okay, published, sorry. Journal of Molecular Liquids. This is from UPM, also UPM, also Elsevier, Q1. This is another holistic model, Dr. Samir, impact factor 4. Then got a few more. Here got a few more. So this one I haven't had the time to share yet. Children Youth Services, Census, Environmental Management, Hospital Readmission Prediction, All these are papers that I've opened. My clients started sharing with me that got accepted in the past few weeks. But they want me to share on Facebook because they'll get citation by doing so. But I haven't had the time to do that yet. Okay, so that is how I can daringly provide language warranty due to our very rigorous proofreading model. Okay, but most proofreading firms unfortunately don't give language warranty. They just run away after proofreading. You get language problem, your problem. That's what they say. Okay, but we don't, right? And can I rush through my proofreading thesis proofread process? Answer is on the right side. This is from real life experience from this student. If I'm not mistaken, UMT. UMT. I can't remember, but I think UMT. Our brother here came to me in November 2019. Okay. After 2019, he came to me about proofread, but I never did because I said very little time. He went, gave somewhere, very horrible place, okay, which they usually advertise on DSG all the time. I don't know why DSG is allowing such companies to advertise because it's very bad for Malaysian students, very, very bad. He submitted, got it back in 1.5 weeks or 2 weeks, or slightly late. He wanted within 2 weeks. I need minimum 1 month, so I say cannot, I'm not doing it. Once he submitted, he got reviva because the proofreaders screwed it up big time. So then he came to me back for consulting. He said, I need all this help, examiner response. How do I do? Okay, then once I went through, I asked him back, hey, you went through proofreading, I was so bad, the writing, those context all changed a lot. Then I told him, then he replied to me, to be honest, this is the reply, to be honest, I'm not happy at all, actually. But if you remember when I contacted you last time, November 2019, I was so rushing to have a proofreader to read my work for the submission for my Viva. Unfortunately, you were not able to do that because of limitation of time, which I did understand. That's why I sent my work to them. I think you know who are they. When he said, I think you know who are they, because there was an outbreak, massive outbreak, massive cry up on DSC, people complaining about this company, how they got screwed. There was one student who got proofread in 2 days, 90 pages. The same company as well. Completely screwed up the chapters. Okay, so be careful, yeah. Just because some people are advertising doesn't mean they are good. Okay, it's all about money, right? So I told him that's why I didn't do, because can never be done in short time. It's thesis and the work suck, language is poor. How much you pay? And he replied, I respect your stand for not doing it because the limitation of time, which cannot compromise with the quality. I suspected the work is done last minute by the proofreader because it was delivered to me not on time as promised. I paid them about 2K. 2K is burnout. That's one thing. But secondly, he got major revival, major correction revival. That's the most painful part. He had to go build slides and go present again. Okay, so a language can both destroy you and make you. Careful. Okay, all right. How your document must be after proofreading, many don't know what to expect. Okay, here's an example. This is none other than Dr. Hero's first SLR Q1 paper that he published, not last year, the year before, 2019, Mirror on the Wall. Okay, when he became very, very famous, this is the paper. Okay, this is how we did the work. And eventually, without any data, just review alone, the paper got into IF 7 point something. Okay, General Cleaner Production Q1 ISI. Next one, this is a very recent one, Dr. Senbong Lim from UKM, also Systematic Literature Review. This paper got into MDPI Sustainability, ISI Q2. Okay, and that is how we do our work. All right, this is through a demonstration of how things should be done. Right. And what kind of services do we provide in terms of language? Okay, we got something very basic, proofreading, editing, but usually this doesn't work anymore. Okay, for the level that the journals are expecting nowadays, examiners are expecting from thesis, proofreading, editing, structuring is the most basic thing required these days. Okay, and you can see the amount of changes there. Okay, for thesis, this is good enough. If you have plagiarism, only then you will need paraphrasing. But for ISI journals, good Scopus journals, I would always recommend paraphrasing, proofreading, editing, and structuring. This is the best. Okay, and we are still offering ultimate thesis package. That means you will still get up to 30% off for proofreading, translation, formatting services. Give to us, we will tap out everything, finish everything, give it back to you. You have to address the comments, come back to us again, recheck, go back, submit. That's it. Okay, this is the offer that came up during last year MCO, March 2020, I launched. But since MCO seems not going anywhere for any time soon, the offer still stands. Okay, and we are the only one that provides language warranty. Okay, even if there's discount, language warranty is still there. All right, and this is the most recent graduate. I don't know why this thing is not going away. Okay, Dr. Salahuddin. Okay, minor correction. He went through paraphrasing, proofreading, editing, and structuring as well. His work, actually, why I shared this in particular, to be honest, I delayed this work for about 1.5 weeks. I delayed. He was very angry with me. But then I told him, look here, look at the amount of changes. We had to rewrite almost everything because the writing is horrible, horrendous. Okay, the original writing, if it goes through confirm, it will be revival or paid. But he was very pissed off that I was taking extra time. But after he went for the Viva, he came back, he said, Dr. Tava, sorry to disturb you. Sorry ganggu, I dah pass with minor correction. Thank you very much. Examiner comment well written. Syukur sangat. Chairman tanya, is there any grammatical error, spelling error, formatting error? Examiner said no error at all. Okay, that's why we take extra time. It's okay if it delays, as long as you don't get major correction. Major correction is still okay, but not revival. Okay, if this one went on its original state, confirm revival. All right. So this is just simple example for you guys. Always remember, anyone can write. Okay, even if you give a cat and a keyboard, cat also can type. Okay, but a piece of writing that everyone can understand is hard to come by. Okay, very very hard. You can understand, but the supervisor, examiners, your peers, all of them must understand what you're writing. Okay. So my advice to you is whether you outsource proofreading or not, that's secondary. But sharpen your own English or get a proofreader who cares. Combine with structuring and paraphrasing. My advice to you is to read a lot of papers to improve your English. All right. And these are the articles I'm going to share with you, which will be very, very useful for you in terms of theoretical framework and conceptual framework and how to connect them. This paper I'm going to share with you. So please kindly give your information, your registration to Dr. Tahira. She just shared the form. Okay, I think Tahira, you need to share it on YouTube as well. So please go to that form, sign up so that I can send you this deck of slides and as well as all these important notes. Okay, theorizing conceptual framework, distinguishing between theory, theoretical framework, conceptual framework. Very, very important this. Okay. And then, and don't forget, please join my Telegram group because sooner or later I'll also share a lot of resources in my Telegram group. The link is right up there in the comment column. We just scroll up, the link is there. Go and join the Telegram group. Don't forget. And then what to do if you are stuck? Don't worry. We have a team of at least 97 consultants now from various subject areas. Okay, various subject areas, and we solely focus on publication content editing, thesis examiner response, PhD proposal consultancy, defense viva preparations, thesis to journal conversions, and most importantly, data analysis and interpretation. At any stage of your PhD or publication, we will be there to assist you. Okay, even grant writing as well. And we have a physical office in Cyberjaya. This is where we are located. Okay. If everything opens up, you're free to come and visit us. But otherwise, we can always talk over the phone or meet online for any discussion. Okay. So with that, these are upcoming workshops. I also want to share this link in case if you're interested with the workshop. You can go and join this particular group. Okay. Hopefully the IT department, Tahira, please ask them to share this also. Upcoming, I don't do workshop very frequently as you won't be able to see me advertising a lot of workshops. I do it very minimal. Okay, it's exclusive workshops only. I don't do it like monthly basis. Okay, and mostly invitation based. So the first one is experiential. Excuse me. Experiential Elsevier Q1 General Writing Workshop. This is the only Q1 template in the world. There is a template that will give you for you to fill up when you write the journal. Makes your life easier. Okay. And next one is Experiential Workshop on Proofreading to Paraphrasing. This workshop will solely focus on improving your academic writing. All right. And how to paraphrase and so on. I'll teach 5 different techniques to paraphrase. Okay. So bring one friend, get 5% off. And this one also, this one is offered by Bofin. And then I think they now offer bundle deals, 270 for both workshops. Okay. So I already given the link for you to register. Later UiTM will share in case you're interested. Okay. So with that, thank you very much. Thanks for spending your time with me. Sharp 12:34, we finished, we completed. Sorry for the hiccup earlier. I would really like to apologize to all the audience. Very sorry for the delay earlier. Okay. But I hope the talk is well, worthy enough of your time. Okay, so thank you very much. Wish you all the best.
Thank you, Dr. Tava. I was so struck with so much of information that has been shared by you. There are lots of
Thank
techniques
you.
and methods that can be applied in our postgraduate studies. And some of the tips that you have shared, I would say that first, do not procrastinate. Second, avoid, if possible, to be on social media. Okay. Third is always to go on chapter. Then always have a time planning. And in order for you to keep going, you need to be in a room with full of notes and reminders, isn't it?
Yeah,
And
that's right.
and if possible, try to have 2 monitors to save time, and always proofread your work correctly. Make sure the content is correct. And there are
Yeah.
lots of more that have been shared by you. And the best part of it is all of your work, all of your knowledge sharing are available in Proofreading by UK PhD Facebook. You just click on the collection of the live videos and it is all there. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Next is, okay, now we are moving on to Q&A session. Okay, I have a question. Does
Sure.
graduate on time really matter in postgraduate study?
For me, to be honest, I don't care about the awards or whatever amount of money, whatever they're offering. For me, it's all about life. Okay, time is very limited in life. You don't want to be wasting it just doing PhD. You want to be Einstein, you want to be Newton, you want to be Nikola Tesla, do it after your PhD, not during your PhD. All right, so try to finish it, move on in life, have a family, and enjoy your life. With COVID is already life sucks. Don't make it worse with doing a very long-term PhD. All right.
Yeah.
I think Dr.
agree
Tahira
with
can
you.
explain that better than anyone. She knows how painful it is to go through a very lengthy PhD.
All right. Thank you. And I can see there are some questions given by the audience in YouTube here. I'm going to read a few. Okay, this is a question from Siti Aisyah Taib. Doctor, can you explain about conceptual framework and theoretical framework? How are they different from each other?
Okay, I'll briefly explain because there's a whole 1 hour video, two videos on that on my Facebook. Okay, for them to completely understand it. But let me tell you in a very simple knowledge, theoretical framework. Okay, now you're going to a highway, you're driving to a highway. Okay, theoretical framework is like your toll booth that lets you into your journey. Okay, and your highway and the road and the car is sort of part of a conceptual framework that gets you to the destination. Okay, so your PhD study can be either looking at developing a new type of toll booth, there is new theory, or new theory altogether, or your conceptual framework will be helping you to actually contribute more knowledge to that theoretical framework. Okay, so it depends on what kind of study you're doing. If you're doing grounded theory and so on, that means you're contributing new theory. It's a more inductive study. But if you have a deductive study, it's more conceptual framework. You're contributing to existing theory. Okay, it's not new theory. Okay, I hope that is clear.
All right, thank you, Doctor. All right, since there are no other questions from the audience, I think we can end the session now. All right, before we end this webinar, kindly fill the attendance and the feedback form that is available in the chat panel of comment section in YouTube. And let's end this webinar with Tasbih Kifarah and Surah Al-As. All right, once again, thank you for joining this webinar. Thank you, Dr. Tava.
Thank you very much. Thank you, moderator, and thank you, Dr. Tahira, for organizing. And thanks for us, the organizing team, and thank you to all the audiences as well. Okay, so thank you, Dr. Tahira, Raziman, Haslinda, Vida Surya, Rohayu. Raziman been very active. Okay, so hopefully 2 screens will help you. Okay, so the feedback from Raziman is very clear. 2 screens helped him a lot. And he also adopted the whiteboard concept. So hopefully everyone will do the same and benefit from it. Okay. So with that, thank you very much. See you guys all soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Dr. Tava, please wait for a while.
Okay. All right.